Hello and welcome to the studio. I'm Georgia Stock and I'm here with our last year's executive producer, Miss Emily Key. I'm so excited that you're here. I am so happy that you are here once again, like I said. And how are you doing, first off?
I'm so good. How are you, Georgia?
I'm doing really good. But I am, once again, I'm great to have you in here. So I wanted to ask you, as being a previous member of Oak Mountain Media, what has Oak Mountain Media done for you outside of high school?
I think Oak Mountain Media kind of taught me to see the person first before maybe the task or the professor or the girl you're meeting for lunch on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It gave me a lens of empathy through lots of different things in college, and it also made me really good at delegating. I got really accustomed in high school to planning and organizing, so I think that's been really cool to carry on and see how that affects different things in my personal life.
I love that. I think that's one of the things that I'm really going to carry on that Mr. Milton has
Yes.
taught all of us. I love that he's teaching us that early too. But so you attend Stanford University.
Yes.
So what are you majoring in?
I'm a political science major, pre-law concentration.
Oh gosh.
So
Oh
yeah.
gosh. There you go. Look at you. I know that you were also in a sorority too. So tell me
Yes.
all about Tridel and why you rushed it.
So if you had told me when I was sitting in your spot last year that I was going to rush, I would have laughed in your face and called you all kinds of names because I did not think I was a sorority girl, but I think Sanford's a little different in that aspect
Yeah.
because when I was going through different interview processes, all the girls I met and wanted to be like were in sororities. And I was like, if these really cool girls can do it, then why am I not doing it?
Right.
So I went Tridel, and I think what I like about my sorority and most sororities at Sanford is that it's all a group of girls in the same mindset of philanthropy and
Yeah.
lifting each other up. And I think that's really cool about our Panhellenic community in particular is it's not just a group of your sorority girls, it's a group of everybody together. So you
Yeah.
meet so many people through Greek life. And I just have so many friends that are independent, so many friends in other sororities that it's not as much like a group that you hang out with as it
Yeah.
is a group that you serve with. So I
I
think it's
love
been really
that.
cool.
So do you have any of like your high school friends that are in the sorority with you?
I actually don't because only
Really?
3 girls from Oak Mountain went to Sanford. So I
Wow.
think that was really cool too to be able
I
to
love that.
navigate
I like
the
that.
same
I
group.
like
Yeah.
that diversity there. I love
Yes.
that. So you can actually be able to interact with new people that you meet. But so what's it like transitioning from high school to college? Like being able to live on your own, like go buy what you want to go buy. Like what's it been like?
I think it's been really cool. I have a really
That's
good
good.
support system at home, and I have a really good support system at Sanford.
Yeah.
And Sanford does a really good job of keeping freshmen running around so busy, so you really don't have time to get homesick in
Yeah.
the first semester. I think it was weird because now I change my sheets once a week.
Yeah.
I'm always dusting, I'm always mopping. I share a bathroom with like,
So are you more like a little bit more like OCD now than ever before?
well, our room is so small.
Yes!
And it's communal bathroom, so I don't have to buy toilet paper.
That's nice. I mean, that's a plus, I guess.
Shower
But-
shoes are not a plus. Yeah.
So were you on the leadership team last year?
Yes.
Okay, what have those leadership talks that you had, how has those played into like your school values and like overall just your work ethic as well?
Honestly, in leadership positions I've started now, I still kind of think about Mr. Milton's voice saying all those John Maxwell quotes in my head sometimes.
We have to read the John Maxwell book for camp. Yes, for camp
Oh
too.
my gosh,
That's another
yeah.
thing we're talking about too. So continue what you're saying.
It's so cool because like every person has a story, every story matters, and that's always going to be true, and that's something I'm always going to carry with
Yeah.
me. And I think especially in a new environment, especially with new people, you realize that foundation of a relationship is so much more important because I'm not going to get these strangers from like Atlanta,
Right.
from Texas, from New York to trust me and to follow me and to listen to what I have to say if I don't learn how to love them first. So I
Right.
think that's been my favorite thing to kind of carry over.
I think that's something that he really emphasizes whenever he's talking to us now, because that's what we're doing. We're doing a book right now, 360 Leader by John Maxwell.
Oh,
So we're doing that right now in our leadership team, and I feel like that's one of the things that one of those things that we're going to be able to take on with us as we proceed throughout
Yeah.
our high school career. But so I have a question for you. I've been asking this to a lot of people that I've been interviewing for this past year. What advice would you give to underclassmen, someone who's already finished their high school career? What advice would you give for pursuing their high school career? What advice would you give them?
I think balance. It's the hardest thing to learn of all things. I'm still constantly learning it, but it's easy to make college feel like summer camp because you're wearing your shower shoes, you're going to get ice cream. Sanford takes you to camp like for a weekend
That's
of your freshman
awesome.
year. Yeah, and it's really easy to get caught up in the fun
Oh my
and then have to
gosh.
stay up super late and do your homework.
Right.
And to kind of forget to slow down and forget to take a second to go on a walk and call your mom. And I think that learning to appreciate the little slowness that you do have kind of makes everything go by a little slower, makes it a little bit sweeter.
I
so.
love that. I've never thought about it like that. I think I need to start thinking about it like that. I really like that. But same goes for upperclassmen. I'm going to say for
Yes.
upperclassmen, what advice would you give them as they're applying to colleges, boosting their GPA at the last minute? What would you say about that?
Probably that you just don't have to have it all figured out.
Right.
It seems like right now everything needs to be set. You need to know what you want to do for the rest of your life. You're writing all these essays trying to advertise yourself to colleges, but it's all just so much bigger than that, and you do have a lot more time than you think you have.
I feel like that's one of those things that as a junior, I feel like that's one of the things that I'm constantly thinking about. I'm like, okay, when do I need to start studying for this? When do I need to start studying for that? Like, it's so, because it's like, it doesn't give me a timeline of when I need to actually start like getting my stuff together and get studying. But my other question is, how, like, are you working at all? If so, like, where do you work and what do you do?
I still am employed at Danbury Inverness, but I only go back on breaks because it's been kind of hard to incorporate that. But yeah, I still work there.
Has it been nice being able to live in like a driving distance from your parents?
Okay, if it wasn't my first priority to live close to home, but I like to joke with my mom all the time. I act like I live 10 hours away because I'm just so bad about coming home. I
Right.
still call my mom every single day, probably to her dismay. But I think that it's been sweet because during finals week, my parents like drop snacks off at my car after recruitment. They'll like bring me a basket of tried out stuff. So I think there's perks like that, but also I think the separation that I've kind of established is really sweet because it helps you start a new life
Yes.
at your school, but then it also helps you maintain kind of the sweetness and the rest the home can have.
I love that. I absolutely love that. But going back to your sorority, so how is being in a sorority and being in Oak Mountain Media, like, have you found any comparisons or similarities that have been the same?
Mr. Milton used to always joke that the way his fraternity leadership was structured was the way Oak Mountain Media leadership was structured, and he is suspiciously right.
Really?
With the exact
Oh my
opposite
gosh.
with committees. It is so interesting to see how that carries
Yes.
over. And honestly, the whole mentality of like meeting people first, so much carries over, but I think that's just true for leadership in general. So.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Well, thank you so much for taking your time and coming in and talking to me.
Of
Thank you
course,
so much
yeah.
for taking the time to get away from your classes.
Definitely.
Yes, well, thank you once again. Thank you so much.
Of course.
As for Oak Mountain Media, I'm Georgia Stock. If you would like to check out more of our content, you can check out our website at OakMTN Media. And if you would like to check out our Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, it's all at oakmtnmedia.com. Thank you so much.